era of old people. So, Tom, why don't you take the lead with this? You know, a lot of things are going on right now. What do you think? Is this should we be paying attention to why old people are kicking major tail right now?
100%. How can you not? Okay, this is the era of the young person. Sorry, Jen, whatever you are, all you. Here's the facts. Okay, so you had Bruce Arians win the Super Bowl. 68 years old, oldest Super Bowl coach to ever win the Super Bowl. I mean, Belichick acts grumpier and older, but he's actually younger. You have President Trump, who was 72. You have Joe Biden replacing him. He's 78. Or staying in sports, you have Serena. She's 39. She had a baby 3-4 years ago, and she's still dominating. She's in the semifinals at the Australian Open. You've got LeBron. No one can touch him right now. Lakers are probably going to win another title. He's 36. Tom Brady, 39.
No, 43.
Yeah, 43. Tom Brady, 43. You got Dr. Fauci, who's 80. You got Nancy Pelosi, who's 80. I don't think that you can have that much of a coincidence where that many older people are dominating. Now, is Nancy Pelosi and Fauci doing anything great? No, that's called longevity. They've just been able to hold on to the job. But everybody's going to emulate what these athletes are doing without a doubt. And Arians was supposed to be done. I mean, he goes against the norm for every coach in the NFL. They're grinding all day, 18-hour days watching film. He's kicking it back in Tampa, having a cocktail at the end of the night, and it worked. I think if you're smart enough to surround yourself with great people. LeBron was 35 when the Lakers sucked, okay? He was still old, and they sucked. The next year, he got Anthony Davis. He got other great players. Tom Brady looked like he was on a decline until he leaves Bill Belichick, starts getting his friends in there like Gronk and everybody. They win another Super Bowl. Serena is just an animal. I mean, she just refuses to become mediocre. And so I think it's a great sign because I don't think you only want young people running everything. There's something about experience. There's something about wisdom that you can lead and stuff. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to do it, but I think it's more than just a coincidence because you have nutrition that's improved, fitness, you're able to live longer. There's so many things that are working in the factors that benefit older people if you still got the drive and the hunger and you want it. If you don't, you're irrelevant and it doesn't matter. But you can go longer at an elite level if you make plans to do it.
What a great point. What a great opening point, Tom. Adam, what
from
do you
the oldest guy on the podcast.
Yeah, no,
why did you have to go there?
Well, I mean, we're in our 40s. You're in your late 40s.
Okay, careful. My
We're doing
kids might be
okay.
listening. They don't know.
We're doing okay. Great point by Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, can't dispute that. Something that I talk about in my business, life settlements, longevity. Something that I also talk about in personal finance is that people are living longer. Like the retirement is being reinvented. I just did that interview with Kiyosaki where traditionally our grandparents or great-grandparent, whatever it is at this point, however old you are, life expectancy in the United States 100 years ago was like 67 years old, right? Now life expectancy is easily into your 80s if you take care of yourself. Obviously, these days with COVID, pre-existing conditions, not taking care of yourself. But you can live to 90, 100, no problem in the United States of America these days if you just take care of yourself, right? So overall, as a country, we are reinventing longevity.
What do all these guys that you said are living longer have in common? You said experience, wisdom, nutrition, drive. What else do they have in common?
They have talent around them, I think, which helps.
Talent around them.
They can afford, like a Serena Williams and a Tom Brady. They can afford the millions of dollars it takes to be at that elite level.
They have
with
money.
trainers,
so there you go. So go there. You said they can afford what?
They can
Everything.
afford the things that can compete, allow them to compete at the highest level, which is the great nutritionists, the personal coaches.
That's very big right
Yes.
there. You know what's the country in the world with the longest life expectancy in the world?
I'm going to guess it's Norway or something in Europe.
Monaco,
yeah.
89 and a half.
Good living out there.
89 and a half.
Because it's the wealthiest country in the world.
Because it's the wealthiest country in the world.
afford
So
better
you can
healthcare.
afford better
Yes.
healthcare. You can afford to go see the doctor. So there is some correlation between wealth and health.
100%.
So
I
when
think so.
people say
100%.
wealthy, because that back in the days, in the 20s and the 30s, when they would make the cartoons of wealthy people, who was it? It was the guy, the
big
big
fat
bank with the big
capitalist.
Robert
fat-
Barron,
exactly.
the railroad guy.
But that's
Yeah.
not the case today
No.
anymore. It's changed. It's slender. It's in shape.
Sure.
It's with a
Look at
personal trainer. It's
Bezos
doing
these
yoga.
Look, if you've worked that hard to accumulate that type of wealth, don't you want to stay alive to enjoy it, right?
yeah.
And you have that advantage, and you can right now.
Yeah.
I think the biggest reason people die younger is because they're so hard on their bodies. I mean, you're reckless with your diet and things like that. There's so many ways to kill yourself if you want to. Just the way the food companies put preservatives and everything, and it's out there if you want to do it. But you can also take the other route and really defeat those odds and live almost as long as you want if you take care of yourself and try to be disciplined as much as you
What
can.
did they call it back in the day? The gout was called the king's disease, or what was it called?
Oh, because
Because they would all eat red meat and wine, and you would just like deteriorate your entire body and your existence. Now, we went over Tom Brady's regimen the day after the Super Bowl. I mean, the guy is up at 5:30. He doesn't eat certain foods, works out, protein shakes.
He started training again the other day.
He's training. I mean, he was
back.
drunk as shit after the Super Bowl, but that's a whole different topic. That felt great.
But listen,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this and you got somebody in the family that's kind of like, well, I feel like I'm old, I feel like I'm this, like they need to hear this message, what was just said. That needs to be shared with them and say, Dad, can you go listen to this? Mom, can you go listen to this? Because a part of this is as well attitude. I think it's also an attitude thing. Did I tell the story on the podcast about John D. Rockefeller? Have we talked about the Rockefeller? I got a little bit of a glitch going on here.
Me too.
It's one of ours. I don't know who it is. Can you guys hear it? Okay, it's gone. Did we talk about the John D. Rockefeller story last time?
Please.
So John D. Rockefeller, when he's a little kid, he said, there's two things I want to do in life. I want to make $100,000, which in today's money, he made $350 billion.
$100,000.
He said he wants to make no. He
Gotcha.
said he wants to make his eventual wealth when he died. In today's money with inflation, it's $350 billion of today's wealth. That's Bezos and Musk combined. That's Rockefeller.
Crazy.
When he was a kid, he said, I want to make $100,000 and I want to live up to 100 years old.
Wow.
He was born in 1835. You know how old he was when he died?
Late 90s, maybe?
97 and 11 months.
Wow.
At a time where the life expectancy was 39 and a half for a man.
39 and a half?
Unreal.
Life expectancy was
the late
39 and a half in
early
1835.
19th
In
century?
1835, the average life expectancy was 39 and a half. He lived 97 years and 11 months. He was 2 years and a month away from reaching that 100-year-old.
Wow.
That's like at
Totally.
that time, right? Crazy stuff.
Yep.
But here's the question. Today, with what we have, with today's Rockefeller waking up and, 6 years old, 10 years old saying, when I grow up, I want to have, $1 trillion or $1 billion or whatever it is, and I want to live up to, what is that number today?
I think the kid's going to say 100. I think a kid. I don't think anyone is going to say I want to live to be 110 because I don't know how good your life is going to be. But I think in the past, maybe you say 85, 90. I'm going to say 100.
What do you think today, kids being, guys, I'm actually curious to know, Kai, I may come to you as well. What do you think kids being born to, like, let's just say a Dash, stud, right? I mean, he's got a little injury right now. A Dash is he's going to be 12 next week.
Right.
Happy early birthday to Dash.
Thank you.
Take an 8-year-old kid, take a 10-year-old kid, driven kid. I'm going to go out there and do this. How old do you think the oldest person's going to be that's 8, 10, 12 years old today?
I can speak for Dash. He'll say 13 because there's a 20-stair rail he's going to try to go down there and he'll probably knock himself out.
Well, there was an article, it was a cover story, I think Time Magazine, a handful of years ago, that babies being born today are going to live to age 130, 150. Something crazy like that. I don't know the exact number.
Do you think it's capable, it's possible that some
You
people
hear
may live 150?
I do, and here's why. Because look how medicine is advancing. Look at the technology. When we start really figuring out some of these diseases, cancer wipes out so many people. What if they got their handle on cancer? So if you were born with, something in your body that predetermines that you're going to get cancer and you can eliminate that, boom, 20% of people are going to live longer automatically, maybe a whole lot longer. People maybe get away from the heart disease issues that kill so many people. Maybe driving cars, they're autonomous and it's safer on the road.
Smoking.
There's less drunk drivers. I don't know, but I do believe 130 to 150 is a possibility because nothing surprises me anymore.
What do you guys think if you're watching this? If you think kids who are 8, 10, 12 years old today can live up to 150 years old, smash the thumbs up button. If you think, Pat, you guys are out of your mind, no way in the world, they're going to live maybe 90, 100, 110, smash the thumbs down button. I'm actually curious to know what the audience thinks. Go ahead, Adam.
You hear stories even now. I think a nun in France, 110 years old, just beat COVID.
116.
She's never
She's
been to happy
116.
116 beat COVID.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. 116
But think about it.
years
She's
old.
never put anything bad into her body, probably, right? Living on a convent. And,
she's praying. She's doing her thing.
I think there's one more
touchdown
factor
Tebow.
that's involved, and you kind of mentioned it. It's motivation. What motivates you to want to live that long? And the perfect example is Jeff Bezos and the transformation that he's gone under physically since he's in the last 10 or 15 years. And since he's had the new girlfriend, have you seen he's buffed? He's dressing differently. Fashion is important. He seems to have a totally different motivation. And if you have that reason to live really long, you're going to do all the little things in your life that will allow you to. But you got to find that one motivation that'll get you there.
I'll say one thing, and then I want to get your opinion. You talked about motivation, which we talked about. We talked about attitude. you talked about reinventing yourself, rediscovering, re-energizing, re-everything, reinvigorating.
Yeah.
To the 40-year-olds who are out there, I have friends who are 40, and they're like, oh, I've got 2 kids. I've already done what I had to do. I'm getting old. I'm like, bro, you're freaking 40.
Yeah.
I'm 40. I'm a man. You ever seen that before?
Yeah,
what are you talking? Like, I'm too old. 40, bro? There's a list of people who completely started companies after the age of 40. 40 is nothing these days. Moving forward, let's say you're in your 60s. I'll give you 2 tales. My stepdad is in his late 60s, complete mess. Has given up on life. His health is horrible.
He's listening to this.
He's not listening. He's a complete mess. I have my uncle who's
Pop,
70.
he's giving you a hard time. You're going to be all right.
He's trying to motivate you.
I promise you. He's given up. No motivation, not reinventing himself. I'm 68 years old. Nothing.
Yeah.
I have my uncle who's 70, wealthy guy, works out every day, takes care of himself, constantly coming up with business ideas. That's Ross's dad. Complete stud. Same age. So this is talked about motivation. This talks about attitude.
Yeah.
So I'll know when I'm getting old. So Udonis Haslem, he's the long, I played against him in high school. He's sitting on the end of the,
For real?
Yeah, in Miami. He's 40 years old now. I played against him. He's still in the league, sitting at the end of the bench on the Miami Heat. So, and I've known the guy like off and on for 20 freaking years now. So when I see him at games, I used to go to the games, it's always like a head nod, like a respect, like keep doing your thing. He's still there doing his thing, 40 years old.
He's a cheap coach.
And you've got cheap coach, $1 million
That's what you call it. It's a cheap coach.
Veteran,
You pay
veterans
them-
minimum,
Totally.
probably makes
the
$2
ones I
million
wanna
bucks
do.
a
You know
year.
how great it is to have players like that
Yeah.
sometimes?
But respect to someone like
Juwan
that.
Howard was a guy
Keep
like
everybody
that for a
in line
couple
in the
years.
locker
Yeah.
room.
You got guys younger than Kai coming to the league. Yeah, let me put my hand around you. So 40 years old, still doing his thing. Tom
Yeah.
Brady, 43. LeBron, 37.
I don't know if Haslam is in the same league as Brady, but I get what you're doing.
No, but I'm just saying.
It's
like,
your friend, Haslam.
he's
He
my-
likes you.
He's an OG in Miami. We're here in South Florida. So
Yeah.
here's my question to
He
you,
is an
Pat.
OG
We
in
talked
Miami.
about age. Do you want to live to age 100? Is that a number you want to live to? Because for me, 100%, I want to go that long.
I would, I wouldn't mind living to 100. Yeah, it's not something I said I'm gonna live to 100 yet. I haven't said that. It's not like
Okay.
I'm gonna go out there and live to 100. But I think I wouldn't mind living to 100.
The gentleman, Kirk Kerkorian.
Yeah, 99, 98.
Okay, a hero of yours.
Yeah, he's
Big time.
a stat.
He lived to almost 100. That what it
Yeah,
was?
98, 99.
Okay,
He-
there you
but
go.
He's a small body frame.
Yeah, he's a little dude.
He's 5'4". It's a different
Yeah.
story when you're 5'4".
6'4".
6'4".
Are you saying that the littler you are, that's a better thing?
Of course it is.
Really?
You have less things that could go back, knees.
Your arms are a mess right now, but we're fixing it.
No, we are. That's not. Listen, LeBron is 6'8", so it's not an excuse I'm
Yeah.
making. But it's difference when it's taller
Gotcha.
versus short. But yeah, 97, 98 years old.
100. You want to get to 100.
100 would be.
How about you, Zen?
100
what?
just
I'm
means
not-
compound.
Yeah, I'm not going to attach a number to it. I just want to keep being healthy, and I'll take it to 120 or bow out at 88 if I'm not.
Why are you putting pressure under Tom with his age,
I'm just
buddy?
excited
you're
that
already
Tom's
going.
back, baby. The OG, the veteran.
Okay, so if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.